We're really excited to announce Micronaut, which is a new framework that we're about to release. The framework is specifically designed for building microservices for the JVM. The Micronaut framework is being designed and developed by the same team that designed and developed and continues to support the Grails framework. So the Grails framework is more than 10 years old now, which is fantastic. And while building Micronaut, we've been able to leverage a lot of lessons learned and expertise that we've developed over the last decade building and supporting the Grails framework. Some of the reasons that Micronaut is really a better fit for building microservices than Grails and Spring Boot have to do with how Spring Boot provides a lot of the value that it provides. So Grails has always been built on top of Spring or Spring Boot in recent versions of Grails. And the reasons for that are there's a whole lot of really great capabilities provided by the Spring framework that contribute to developer productivity and simplicity of your code. But the way that Spring accomplishes a lot of that is expensive. It's expensive in terms of runtime performance, and it's expensive in terms of memory consumption. And a lot of that has to do with Spring's dependence on runtime reflection. So Spring does a lot of runtime reflection to discover things about the classes in your application, and it uses that information to generate a lot of behavior that means that the developer has less code to write. Spring can generate this behavior for you, but a lot of it relies on runtime reflection. And the cost of that runtime reflection keeps us from satisfying some of the goals that we had for Micronaut, including really fast startup time and small memory footprints. So one of the really innovative aspects of the Micronaut framework is how we address that issue. And a big part of that is we've eliminated all of the runtime reflection and replaced that with compile time annotation processor. So at compile time, we're analyzing your application source code and discovering annotations and annotation attributes and generating all of the logic associated with those annotations, again, at compile time. So that allows for a more efficient runtime in terms of performance as well as memory consumption.